My name's Jordan, I'm 33, and my wife, well, soon-to-be ex-wife, is named Kaylee. She's 31 and 6 months pregnant with what we thought was our first child together. We've been married for almost 7 years, and for the first few of those, things were good. Kaylee was always into fitness. She'd do yoga, go jogging, even made her own little home workout routines during the pandemic. But about a year and a half ago, something changed. She didn't just like working out anymore. She needed it. Like it was air. Like it was an escape. She told me she wanted to start going back to the gym. Said it helped with stress and gave her a routine. I was supportive at first. I mean, who am I to argue with someone wanting to stay healthy, right? I even offered to go with her. But she said no, the gym is my me time, she told me. Fair enough. At first it was casual, an hour or so in the evenings. But then she started going every single day. Weekends too. Then she added morning sessions before work. Then again after work. There were days she'd hit the gym 3 times, sometimes just because we had an argument. It became her way of coping with literally everything. Bad day? Gym. Fight with me? Gym. Work drama? Gym again. The obsession didn't scare me at first. But the distance it created between us? That did. She barely had energy to talk by the time she got home. Chores, cooking, simple things we used to share. I ended up doing most of it alone. I didn't mind helping. I really didn't. But when it becomes every single task, every single day, and she's just out there grinding with her gym friends, that hits differently. And it's not like I let myself go, either. I've always been active. My job actually requires me to stay in shape. So it's not some insecure thing about her looking better than me or whatever. I just missed my wife. Missed being with her. Missed us. When I finally brought it up, told her that I thought she was overdoing it, that maybe it was getting unhealthy, she got defensive. Said I was trying to control her. That I didn't understand her passion. Then she dropped this gym. The gym is the only place I feel like myself. Ouch. She started developing this new circle of friends there, people I never met, never even heard of until she randomly mentioned some gym wedding she was attending. I asked to come with her, and she gave me the cold shoulder. You wouldn't fit in, she said. It felt like she was becoming someone else. Like she was slowly trading her life with me for one she was building in that gym. A life I wasn't part of. Then the real paranoia kicked in. A few people, friends, even her family, started dropping hints. She's always at that gym. You ever wonder if there's something else going on? I brushed it off. I trusted her. We were having a rough patch, but cheating? No way. She came home exhausted, drenched in sweat. She was obviously working out. Still, one night, she left her phone on the kitchen counter, unlocked. That never happened. Ever. And something just clicked in my gut. I don't know why. I swear, I didn't go looking for anything scandalous. But her text notifications were blowing up. From someone named Miles. My heart dropped. I opened the thread. I shouldn't have. But I did. And there it was. Text I can't ever unsee. Flirting. Jokes that tiptoed way over the line. Then stuff that made it very clear this wasn't just some gym buddy. Pictures. Language. And yeah, I didn't need to imagine what Miles looked like naked anymore. When I confronted her, explosive doesn't even begin to describe it. She flipped the script immediately. Accused me of violating her privacy. Screamed that I was controlling. That I was paranoid. Never once tried to explain what I saw. I lost it. I didn't hurt her. I would never. But I threw her phone against the tile and shattered it. She slapped me hard, and I walked out. I wanted to stay with my brother that night. His wife, who'd already mentioned how weird Kaylee's gym behavior had become, wasn't surprised. Said it had been obvious to her for months. I felt like an idiot. When I came back home, Kaylee was crying in bed, like she was the one who'd been betrayed. I thought you weren't coming home, she whimpered. I didn't respond. I took her phone in for repair the next day. Not because she deserved it, but because I didn't want to sink to her level. I still had this dumb hope that maybe I'd wake up and this was all just a terrible dream. But I knew it wasn't. And deep down, I knew the texts weren't the whole story. There had to be more. There was more. Kaylee was about 18 weeks pregnant when I found those texts. Almost halfway through. And I was still clinging to this naive hope that maybe it was just some stupid flirty banter. A boundary crossed, but not shattered. Then, the day after I got her phone fixed, she asked me to stay home from work. She said we needed to talk. I didn't want to. I didn't think I had it in me to sit there and listen to her try to minimize what I saw. But I stayed. She sat on the edge of the bed, hands in her lap like a scolded child, eyes red from crying. And then she said it. I slept with him. Just like that. She told me it started with flirting. Just little things at first. Compliments. Inside jokes. Friendly texts. She said she liked how it made her feel, like I was in high school again. Like she had a crush. She tried to claim it didn't mean anything in the beginning. Said she told him nothing could happen, that she was married, that this was just silly. But he kept pushing. And she liked it. Eventually, they kissed. And once that line was crossed, the rest didn't take long. She slept with him the same night. I didn't say a word the whole time she talked. Just sat there, staring at a woman I thought I knew. The mother of my child. She said she didn't plan to cheat. That it just happened. That she didn't even know if she loved him or not. But she couldn't deny there was this spark. Then came the part that made my blood go cold. She wasn't sure if the baby was mine. She thought it was. Claimed he always used protection. But they were sleeping together around the time she got pregnant, so there's a chance. I asked her straight up, would she get a DNA test? She hesitated. Like that was too much to ask. Then, with actual tears in her eyes, she asked me, "You'd really leave me if it's not your baby?" I couldn't believe it. After everything, she thought I might stay? I told her, with as much control as I could muster, that I would absolutely walk away if that baby wasn't mine. No hesitation. No second chances. I wouldn't raise another man's child, especially not one made in betrayal. She looked shocked. As if she thought our history, our years together, would make me stay. That I'd somehow get over it. She tearfully agreed to the paternity test. But not out of remorse. No. Her eyes weren't crying for me. They were crying for herself. For the life she was about to lose. She said she'd stop going to the gym. That she'd never talk to him again. Begged me to believe her. But when I asked if she was still in love with him, she didn't say no. She couldn't say no. And that told me everything. After that conversation, I stopped sleeping in our bedroom. I moved into the guest room. We lived in the same house, but didn't speak unless we had to. She'd occasionally text me with baby updates. Try to joke around, like we were friends. But I kept it short. Detached. Her mask started to slip. No more crying. No more grand apologies. Just silence. Until she sent me a text one afternoon. She said she was moving in with him. Apparently, the affair partner, Miles, knew she was pregnant and didn't care. He loved her and wanted to be with her, even if the baby wasn't his. I laughed out loud when I read that. Out of disbelief. Not humor. What kind of guy willingly takes on another man's pregnant wife? She packed a couple bags and left the rest of her stuff at the house. She clearly expected me to come running after her. But I didn't. I didn't even say goodbye. The next few days were a blur. I drank too much. Didn't eat. Just sat with this hurricane of emotions swirling inside me. Rage, sadness, confusion, betrayal. Every minute that passed felt like someone was digging a deeper hole inside my chest. Then she texted me again. Apparently, now that Miles wanted a paternity test, she was suddenly okay with getting one. Funny how that works, huh? She even tried to spin it like a cost-saving favor. We can do both samples in one package. It's cheaper that way. I didn't care about the money. I just wanted answers. I went to the lab, gave my cheek swab, and left. And then came the longest week of my life. Every day, I waited. Waited to find out whether this baby was mine. Waited to find out if I was going to be tied to this nightmare forever. Waited to find out if the woman I once loved had taken everything from me. The truth came in on a Friday, 11 a.m. A simple email with a PDF attachment. I opened it. Read it. Twice. 3 times. And then just stared at the wall. The baby was mine. I was going to be a father. Finding out the baby was mine was supposed to bring clarity. Closure, maybe. Instead, it split me right down the middle. Half of me felt relief. I wouldn't be haunted by this. What if for the rest of my life? But the other half? The other half wished it wasn't mine. Because that would have made walking away so much easier. Kaylee texted me right after I got the results. "I'm glad you're the father. I know you'll be an amazing dad." She even sent baby name suggestions like we were still a couple, like this wasn't the messiest situation imaginable. I ignored the texts. I hadn't spoken to her directly in weeks, and I didn't plan to break that streak. She wanted to come by the house to grab a few things, and I agreed. Legally, I couldn't stop her anyway. But I made one thing very clear: come alone. He is not welcome here. You'd think that wouldn't need to be said twice. But of course, Kaylee shows up, and Miles is right behind her. Like this was his house too. He stepped in like it was no big deal, hands in his pockets, all cool and calm. I didn't even say anything at first. Just stood there, stunned at the audacity. Kaylee scurried upstairs to grab some things while I was left alone with the man who'd been screwing my wife for months. And then he started talking. Look, man, I just want you to know I get how you're feeling. I really do. Oh, really? Do you? He went on to say he loved her. That he knew the baby probably wasn't his but wanted to be supportive anyway. I'm not trying to take your place. I just want us all to be on the same page. All on the same page? You're dating my wife, living in my house, and now you're standing in my living room like we're gonna co-parent over coffee and protein shakes? I told him to leave. Calm, but firm. Get out of my house. Right now. But he stayed. When Kaylee came back downstairs, I followed her and asked her, why? Why bring him? Why disrespect me like that? She gave me this half-assed apology. He insisted. I didn't want to fight about it. Then she said she was sorry and never meant for things to turn out this way. But I'm in love with him now, she added, like it was some passing statement. She told me she's setting up a nursery in his house. Said I could set one up here too. That she didn't plan on going for full custody. She'd let me be part of the child's life. You'll still be a great dad, she said, like she was doing me a favor. That's when I snapped. I walked right past her, walked up to Miles, and punched him in the jaw with everything I had. He stumbled back, crashed into a side table, and didn't even try to fight back. Just held his face and looked shocked. Kaylee screamed. Ran over to him like I was the villain. What the F asterisk, Jordan? Asterisk. He didn't call the cops. Probably because deep down, he knew he earned that hit. I mean, what did he expect? That he could play dad while I stood aside like a spectator? A few hours later, Kaylee texted again. I'm sorry about what happened. He meant what he said. He respects you. Respects me? Respects me? This man had sex with my wife in gym locker rooms while I cooked her dinner. He played the supportive sidekick until she cracked, and then slid right into my place, and now he respects me? I didn't even answer. Later that night, I sat in the nursery room. Well, the room that's going to be the nursery, and just stared at the walls. I'd already started repainting it. Bought some baby gear. I don't even know why. Maybe it's the last thread keeping me tethered to something that feels real. It's funny, Kaylee told me once that Miles doesn't even know how to take care of her. That he's selfish during sex, doesn't do the little things she's used to. Doesn't warm up her car on cold mornings. Doesn't make her tea when she's sick. Doesn't know her love language. And that gave me a little joy. Because even though she chose him, she's slowly realizing what she gave up. But that doesn't mean I won. I lost everything. The trust. The dreams. The family I thought we were building. Now, we're just strangers with a baby between us. And that baby's going to grow up in 2 different homes, mine and hers, with him. How do you even begin to explain that to a child? Your mom and I used to be in love. But then she met a guy with bigger biceps and made a choice that broke us all. Part of me still loves her. I hate that. I wish I didn't. But love doesn't just shut off like a switch, no matter how bad it gets. I'm trying to move forward, but every step feels like dragging a 100-pound weight behind me. I haven't spoken to Kaylee since that day, but I know I'll have to. Soon. Because this baby's coming. And that's a whole new storm I'm not ready for. A couple of weeks after I punched Miles, things went quiet. No texts. No drama. Just this eerie silence that hung over everything like fog. I thought maybe, just maybe, they'd finally understood I wanted nothing to do with either of them. But then reality knocked again. I told Kaylee that when the baby's born, I will be in the delivery room. Not him. I told her that after everything she's done, after cheating, after the lying, after walking out, she owed me that. It's my child. My first. I will not be the one pacing the waiting room while some gym guy holds her hand and cuts the cord. She said she agreed. That she never planned to have him in there. But I didn't believe her. I asked if she'd told Miles that. She said no. So I told her to do it. She did. And, of course, he didn't take it well. He started convincing her why he should be there. That he was her partner now. That he had a right to support her through birth. Next thing I know, Kaylee's texting me saying she's reconsidering and that she wants him there too, because she's the one giving birth, and she should get to decide who's in the room. I told her straight up, if he's there, I won't be. I won't be part of a 3-person circus act while my kid comes into the world. That conversation didn't end well. A few days later, she tried to change the subject, offering me the house and our dog in the divorce. Nice try. We're not bartering over who gets what like this is some romantic trade deal. I'd already filed the paperwork to sell the house and split the profit. I wasn't about to buy her out of a home that I made every single payment on. My credit, my finances, my compromises built this place. I don't want it anymore. It's filled with memories I'd rather forget. But the dog? That's non-negotiable. He's mine. I had him before I met her. I have the vet records, the license, everything. He's loyal. He's loving. He doesn't sneak around behind my back or lie to my face. He's the only thing in this house that's stayed constant. Honestly, he's more loyal than Kaylee ever was. She can have the guy who can't cook her soup or clear her car windshield in the morning. I'll take the dog. Still, even with everything crashing around me, I've started working on a nursery here. Yeah, I'm probably not staying in this house for much longer, especially once the sale goes through, but I want there to be no doubt. I am ready to be this child's father. I don't want Kaylee, or anyone else, saying I was absent or checked out. This nursery? It's mine. My rules. My choices. No more asking what colors she likes or which baby theme is aesthetic enough for Instagram. I'm doing this for me and for my kid. And yeah, it's weird. It's weird setting up a crib while knowing the mother is living across town, playing house with the man who blew up our marriage. Sometimes, the silence here is so loud, it's almost unbearable. We lived together for most of our adult lives. I'm still adjusting to the echo of my own voice in these rooms. I have friends, family. I'm not alone. But I don't feel like going out. Everyone just wants to talk about what happened. Every conversation starts with, "How are you doing?" And it never feels like anyone actually wants to hear the truth. Truth is, I don't even know how I'm doing. I got a promotion at work. Go figure. A bigger paycheck right before a divorce. Great timing, huh? All it really means is now Kaylee's lawyers will probably try to squeeze more out of the financial agreement. So that's nice. Every decision I make now runs through the same filter. How will this affect the divorce? How will this affect custody? I spy on her social media sometimes. I know I shouldn't, but I do. And you know what? It's a highlight reel of smiles and filtered baby bump pics and him standing behind her like he's proud of something he didn't build. She doesn't post much, but when she does, it's enough to make me want to punch a wall. Still, karma seems to be doing its job. Her sister reached out to me a few days ago. Told me Kaylee had been venting to the family, said Miles is selfish in bed, doesn't do any of the things I used to do for her, like warming up her car or bringing her snacks or rubbing her feet when she was sore. Apparently, the honeymoon phase is over. She complains he hangs out with his friends too much and doesn't understand her love language. I couldn't help but laugh. This is the guy you left me for? The guy you bet your future on? Turns out, he was a lot more appealing when he was someone else's temptation. Now that he's hers? Not so exciting anymore. Meanwhile, I'm over here planning doctor's appointments and drafting parenting plans with my lawyer. It's not about getting even. It's about making sure I'm there, every step of the way for my child. Regardless of what Kaylee does or who she's with, I'm not going to be sidelined. I've already lost too much. I refuse to lose my child too. Kaylee is 26 weeks pregnant now. Less than 3 months until I become a father. And despite everything, despite her affair, the betrayal, the lies, nothing could have prepared me for the emotional chokehold that one simple truth has on me. I'm going to be a dad. The person I created a life with is living with another man. The man she cheated with. The man who still, bizarrely, thinks he can play sidekick in this whole twisted production. And I have to share custody with her. Maybe not legally yet, but emotionally, logistically. That's my reality. I told Kaylee, again, that I will be in the delivery room. That's non-negotiable. I don't care if she's with Miles now. This is my child. He has no right to be there. No place in that moment. He didn't create this life. He doesn't get to witness its first breath. She originally agreed. Said it would just be me. But when she told Miles, he apparently threw a tantrum. Told her he deserves to be in there too. And next thing I know, she's texting me again, backpedaling, saying she wants him there. I lost it. Told her that if he's there, I won't be. I won't fight over the bed she's giving birth in, and I won't let her turn one of the most important moments of my life into some love triangle circus. After some back and forth, she finally agreed, again, that it would just be me. Whether she sticks to that, we'll see. But if she doesn't, I'll walk out and go straight to court. I won't let her emotional chaos define the start of my child's life. Meanwhile, our divorce is trudging forward. She offered me the house and the dog like she was being generous, as if she could hand over my own damn things and expect applause. No thanks. We're selling the house, splitting the profits. I've already filed the paperwork. I don't want to live in a shrine of broken promises and gym bags. I want a fresh start. A space that isn't soaked in her perfume and memories I can't trust anymore. As for the dog, that was never a debate. He's mine. He's always been mine. And no court on earth would disagree. I told my lawyer, half jokingly but fully serious, that I'd give up furniture, appliances, hell, even my favorite hoodie, before I'd give up that dog. He's been my anchor through this whole damn mess. Loyal, quiet, present, better than Kaylee ever was. And yeah, I set up a nursery here. Even though I might not be in this house much longer, I needed to do it. I needed to prove, to myself, and maybe to her, that I'm ready. That I'm not just some angry, scorned husband trying to win custody out of spite. I'm trying to focus on the positives, but it's hard. Especially when every decision feels like it's tangled in legal strategy. How will this look to a judge? How might this affect the custody agreement? I spy on Kaylee and Miles online sometimes. Pathetic, I know. They post those filtered, perfectly staged photos, the kind of fake happy that only makes you feel worse. I catch myself wishing Miles would fall off a motorcycle or trip into traffic. I know it's dark. I don't care. Apparently, he's launching a new business soon. Once he does, I already told my friends and family we're going to rain down one-star reviews like a biblical plague. Petty? Maybe. But it's the only fun I get out of this whole dumpster fire. Then Kaylee's sister messaged me. Said Kaylee's been complaining. A lot. Apparently, Mr. Perfect isn't so perfect anymore. He's selfish in bed, never does thoughtful little things, barely helps around the house. She misses the way I used to make her breakfast, clear off her car in the mornings, warm up her heating pad when she had cramps. She said he doesn't speak her love language. I nearly choked on my coffee reading that. And the sex? According to her sister, it's over when he's done. Delightful. But here's the kicker. She's still staying. Still setting up a nursery in his house. Still pretending this is all going to work out. I don't know if it's stubbornness or fear. Probably both. Kaylee's depended on me for over a decade. She met me when she was 20. I was her constant. Her safety net. She never really learned how to be alone. She just transferred that dependency onto the first guy who gave her butterflies and a gym towel. Part of me still aches for her. I wish it didn't. There's still a version of her in my mind. The girl I fell in love with. The girl who used to sit on the floor with me, eating pizza and talking about baby names and dream vacations. That version is dead now. Or maybe she never existed at all. Now, I'm just a man preparing to become a father alone. No partner. No plan. But I'm ready. I have my name on the paternity test, my signature on the divorce papers, and soon, my arms ready to hold my child. Kaylee and I will never be us again. That version of our story is over. But the next chapter? That's mine. And it starts the moment I hear my baby cry for the first time.